Hey everybody, welcome to the next episode of the Spillways. We will be covering day 17 to day 20. Let's have a look at my notes. Day 23. So when we left off, we'd met Old Hankers, who was going to be Ollie's guide in the Spillways, and we'd entered the elevator. So day 17, the elevator doors rattle open on floor 14. Oll is surprised to find the room was well kept, clean and smelling spicy. The walls similar to the worker lounge, but these ones are well maintained. The lights bright, posters well secured to the wall and clean, but the posters warned of going to the surface. There was posters of worker unions scattered around the room as well, along with rows of tables and chairs which seemed to have been used recently. Spying Oll's confusion, Audie states, "We like to keep the place clean. The foreman used the space for meetings and games nights." Before laughing and walking off, he turned to look around at Oll. Beware, the next view can be quite shocking. Day 18. Oll followed Audie through the doors. The space that opened up into a massive underground cavern that stretched beyond view. It would seem to Oll he had finally reached the city floor. Beneath him was the concrete poured to cover the old world. Bursting forth from this layer came the columns that held the structures above. Each column as thick as a conap. The area is a hive of activity. It would seem a city existed under the city. People getting on with their daily lives. It looked like shops existed down here as well. Ollie's pulse raced as he was getting ready to explore this new location. Day 19. The column. As Oll stared, Audie explained that each column rises to the city above and it delves deeper into the old city. Every column is controlled by a foreman. The ground floor is a mass of restaurants, shops and offices for the local workers. Then as you head up the column, the shops thin out and become homes to the work crews instead. Every crew and every family has a home. The ground between each column is kept clear for getting to and from the spillway. This way, we are able to control the movement of air and keep this area rather fresh. Now at this stage I am imagining the underlevels of Coruscant from what I've seen in computer games and like the Clone War animation, where you have the above city, which looks nice and is in the sunshine, and then you start going deeper underground and it gets darker. Buildings are kind of upside down, held up on columns. It's a city under a city basically. I'll pop up some pictures of that. And then day 20, moving along through this section, Ollie is just awe-dropped by the sight of everything. In this one vicinity, there is at least 10 columns rising up into the ceiling, each with their own community. What seems stranger is the constant buzz of life as families traverse the gloom. Children play, adults work, and there's just a whole city and whole life happening down here in the underground, and their sole purpose is built around cleaning Sector 102's garbage. From his viewpoint, Oll sees the main entrance to the spillway. Airtight doors and pollution scrubbers bar the way. Oll states, "Why does the factory look and smell so bad, whereas down here it seems so clean?" To this, Audie replies, "Keeps trouble away and impresses the city inspectors when they come to check on us." And then I start to rough out what a column looks like, so I'll make sure there's a nice picture of that. But ultimately, you gotta think this is like a small city block, each column. And so the ground floors are gonna be the restaurants, shops, businesses. They get paid there. It's where the offices are for the foremen and the workers' guilds. And then it slowly becomes homes for the crowd. It's a weird society down here. You gotta think it's more like a socialist state compared to the dictatorship that the upper city suffers from. Day 21, Kelp Column. As Oll passes through the gloom, he starts to realize each column and community is sponsored. He spies Munch Branding, Kidney Hut, U-Fronts, and many more. Oldie explains the crews collect pay from those companies, and in exchange, the Justice Department favors these groups' bids in reconstruction of Sector 102. This way, the pollution is cleaned up by those companies making it, creating a never-ending trade circle. Oldie points out to the column closest to the spillway. We head there, the most prominent work crews there. Kelp Pharmacy Column. There you'll meet Leonard Osmer, the foreman, and Kelp Pharmacy's representative. There you'll gain access to the spillways proper. Just don't stare at his jaw. Day 22. Drawing closer to Kelp Pharmacy Column, the crowd grew. A mini city active under the sector. This really confuses Oll. He never realized there was so much life down here. The column's signage lighting the gloom as children ran and played. Retired workers now ran the workshops or offered their services as gloom globe lighters, holding orbs above their head that pulsed with light over families gathering supplies. Every person down here showed signs of gene modification, and most of the posters advertised the latest modifications they could gain. At the base of the column, Ol felt like he stared at a city block. How foolish he was to believe the spillway would be smaller. Day 23. Aldi led Ol into the main offices. Everywhere Old looked, Kelp Pharmacy logos and branding stared back. Another welcome droid sat watch at the welcome desk, ignoring the duo as they passed. Ol noticed the lights seemed bright in here, and the air smelt of antiseptic. Some people just out of view hurried by in lab coats as a loud voice boomed, "Old to me, boy." That's where we're going to end. So there you go. Nice quick one. Hope you're enjoying these series. I know it's a bit weird doing a podcast. It feels a bit weird for me as well. My need to be moving my hands whilst recording and building stuff is not being fully embraced at the moment. So we're probably going to try and do more drawings. Anyway, let me know if you're enjoying these and sitting back and listening. I'll catch you in the next video again soon. As always, cheers for watching. Or listening, I guess. Cheers for listening. That was awkward. Bye-bye. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and then go watch this one. This one up here. Give it a click. Bye-bye.